to my need to separate from my ex-husband were emotionally difficult for me and our children. Upon filing for divorce, I left him control and full residency of our family homes in Los Angeles and at Miraval, without compensation, which I hoped would make him calmer in his dealings with me after a difficult and traumatic period. She continues, "To this day, the children and I have never again set foot on the property, given its connection to the painful events leading to the divorce." Jolie does not detail the events, though she filed for divorce in September 2016 following a transatlantic flight with Pitt and their kids, during which she alleged that the actor verbally and physically assaulted her and one of their children. Pitt has denied the allegation.
The story of Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, and Jennifer Aniston never seems to slow down. And 2025 is bringing fresh updates that continue to twist this saga in ways no one saw coming. Angelina has recently filed legal motions requesting that Brad cover $33,000 in legal fees tied to their ongoing estate disputes. A figure that might sound small compared to their combined net worth, but speaks volumes about the ongoing tension between them. For Angelina Jolie, the Chateau Miraval estate remains the most tangible reminder of both love and loss. Once the backdrop of her marriage to Brad Pitt, the property has now become a focal point in a lengthy and often bitter legal battle. Her recent motion requesting that Brad cover $33,000 in legal fees might appear minor compared to the vast fortune tied to the estate, but it speaks to something larger: the exhaustion of years spent fighting to untangle what was once shared. Sources close to the actress suggest that her decision to press forward isn't about money. It's about principle, about ensuring her voice is heard in a dispute that has come to symbolize the emotional complexity of their separation. Behind the legal motions, however, lies a woman who has largely withdrawn from the Hollywood spotlight to prioritize her children and rebuild life on her own terms. Those close to her describe her home as a sanctuary, filled with books, art, and reminders of travel. A far cry from the chateau she refuses to revisit. Angelina has focused on directing, humanitarian work, and nurturing her 6 children through their transition into adulthood. The older ones are finding their own voices, stepping out of their parents' shadows, while the younger twins are still navigating adolescence amid the echoes of a very public divorce. Friends say Angelina's greatest wish now is for peace, not just for herself, but for her children to finally feel free of the weight of their parents' past. Brad Pitt, on the other hand, seems intent on building a future that looks nothing like his past. His relationship with jewelry executive Inez de Ramon appears to mark a new phase of stability for the actor, who has spent years reshaping his life after addiction recovery and the collapse of his marriage. The couple reportedly lived together in Los Angeles, where Brad has created what insiders describe as a private, grounded space focused on art, music, and design. He's still acting and producing, but his work is more deliberate now, less about fame and more about legacy. In recent interviews, Brad has spoken about the importance of simplicity and gratitude, suggesting that the turbulence of the past decade has taught him the value of quiet domesticity over spectacle. Still, the shadow of the ongoing Miraval dispute looms. The estate is more than just property. It's a symbol of their shared history, a physical embodiment of both their love and their undoing. Whether the case is settled this year or drags into 2026, the outcome could mark the final legal and emotional severing of a bond that has long outlasted the marriage itself. For Brad, resolving it could mean true closure. For Angelina, perhaps, the ability to move forward without looking back. Meanwhile, Jennifer Aniston has emerged from years of silence to reclaim her own narrative.
Since iconic 2004 SNL skit making fun of the constant media scrutiny she endured about whether or not she would have a baby, Aniston now opening up more than ever to Harper's Bazaar UK about the hurt it caused, the press unaware that she had gone through years of unsuccessful IVF treatment, saying, quote, "They didn't know my story or what I'd been going through over the past 20 years to try to pursue a family. The narrative about how I won't have a baby, won't have a family because I'm selfish, a workaholic, it does affect me. I'm just a human being."
Her decision to publicly address her fertility journey has been widely praised as one of the most honest and vulnerable moments in modern celebrity culture. For decades, she endured the relentless speculation of tabloids eager to pit her against Angelina, framing her as the woman left behind, the career-obsessed star who chose work over motherhood. In 2025, Jennifer's openness about failed IVF rounds and the emotional pain of trying to conceive has reframed her story entirely. It's no longer about comparison or loss. It's about resilience, truth, and the quiet strength required to live authentically in the face of misunderstanding. Her candor has also sparked a broader conversation in Hollywood about fertility, aging, and the pressures placed on women, especially those in the public eye. Fans and colleagues alike have responded with admiration, calling her testimony liberating and long overdue. In a way, Jennifer's revelations have brought her full circle. Once defined by others' assumptions, she's now defining herself on her own terms. Professionally, she continues to thrive with new projects, but it's her personal honesty that's making the most lasting impact. While their stories unfold in separate directions, the trio remains linked by cultural memory, a reminder of how intertwined fame and personal identity can become. The Angelina Jennifer narrative has long been treated as a Hollywood saga of betrayal and heartbreak, yet 2 decades later, it's transformed into something deeper, a meditation on growth, forgiveness, and the passage of time. Each of them, in their own way, has learned that healing doesn't happen under flashbulbs or through public approval. It happens in private, often in silence. In the coming months, new developments are expected in the Miraval case. Court filings may determine the future ownership of the estate and possibly end the legal back and forth that has stretched on since their 2016 separation. Industry observers believe that once this final hurdle is cleared, both Brad and Angelina will be able to fully close that chapter. For Brad, that may mean a renewed focus on producing and building a quiet life with Inez. For Angelina, it could open the door to returning to filmmaking, travel, and advocacy with the freedom she hasn't felt in years. Jennifer's trajectory, meanwhile, is set to inspire a new wave of creative work exploring womanhood and the realities of fertility. She's hinted at developing projects that address those themes directly, blending art with authenticity. Her story, once tabloid fodder, is now being viewed as a testament to perseverance and self-definition. It's a reminder that fame doesn't shield anyone from life's most intimate struggles, and that honesty, even when painful, can be its own form of healing. For all three, 2025 may not bring dramatic reconciliations or explosive revelations. Instead, what's emerging is a quieter, more grounded evolution, one shaped by acceptance rather than conflict. The sensationalism that once defined their lives has given way to something more human. People growing older, wiser, and perhaps finally at peace with the past. What remains remarkable about their intertwined story is how it mirrors the evolution of celebrity culture itself. What began as tabloid obsession has become a study in survival and reinvention. Angelina has turned pain into advocacy, Brad has found solace in simplicity, and Jennifer has transformed public curiosity into empowerment. They no longer exist as characters in a Hollywood drama, but as individuals writing the next, more authentic chapters of their lives. And maybe that's the quiet resolution audiences have been waiting for. Not a dramatic reunion or a final act of revenge, but the realization that closure doesn't always come in grand gestures. Sometimes it's found in small victories, a settled case, an honest interview, a peaceful home. So what do you think? Has Angelina really found peace? Is Brad's comeback for real? And has Jen finally escaped the shadow of it all? Drop your thoughts below. And just before you go, make sure you've subscribed to our channel. Because trust me, the next update in this saga is gonna be even crazier.